So our strategic plan, a plan for changing times, will essentially direct or drive the organisation between 2021 and 2024. The process we employed back in September 2020, the board commissioned a strategic plan upon the completion of the 2015 to 2020 strategic plan titled Vision 2020. Mr. Rob Wood of 80/20 Info was engaged to lead this process. And our first step was to review our mission, our vision, and our values. And that was followed by consultation with a variety of stakeholders, our Board of Governors, supported individuals, their families, regional partners, the Ministry of Children, Community and Social Services, and our staff, our frontline staff, our supervisory staff, managers, and senior managers. Our mission, vision, and values, which have already been touched on, but worthwhile repeating. The review, actually, of our mission, vision, and values resulted in agreement that the current mission, vision, and values, those that were in place when we embarked on this exercise, were still relevant. And only small wording changes were made. Our mission, supporting people with developmental disabilities, with a special focus on those with complex needs and their families, so they can lead full lives effectively supported in their communities. Our vision, working as one with supported persons, their families, service agencies, governments and partners across the region, building community capacity and specialised resources, empowering those with developmental disabilities to thrive in their communities, and taking a leadership role in the provision of person-centred, clinically focused supports and services in Eastern Ontario. And of course, our values and service principles, following a servant leadership philosophy within the context of safety and responsibility to those we serve and serve with, and consistent with Ongwenada's Code of Ethics, the organisation is guided by its commitment to three core values, those being support, respect, and choices. And servant leadership was a term that was in our last strategic plan, and one that I thought was worthwhile maybe highlighting. Servant leadership considers the needs of others, especially team members, as they consider their own needs. Servant leaders consider the needs of others, especially team members, as they consider their own needs. They acknowledge the perspective of other people. They give them the support they need to meet their work and personal goals, involve them in decisions where appropriate, and build a sense of community within the team. This approach leads to higher engagement, more trust, and stronger relationships with team members and other stakeholders. Everyone can be a servant leader, whether or not they occupy a traditional leadership role. It is the attitude, not the title, that determines a servant leader. So in terms of consultations, over the course of 6 months, more than 18 virtual in-person sessions were held with primary stakeholders, those being supported individuals, families, partner agencies, ministry and staff. In addition, online survey monkey input opportunities resulted in over 100 pages of feedback. From that feedback, there were themes that emerged. Families, for example, highlighted the need for increased involvement and participation in decisions affecting their family members. Families wanted to explore alternative housing models. They wanted increased respite. They wanted support network for themselves, for families who have family members with a developmental disability. They wanted the people that we support with developmental disabilities to be true members of a community. And they also were interested in building the use of technology, which many of them had experienced over the course of the pandemic. Our MCCSS and partner agencies identified the need to explore different ways to provide support, to align solutions with what families want for their loved ones, to develop connections between developmental services and health, something that I think we have been successful thus far as a result, probably, or primarily as a result of the pandemic. to build respite services, particularly for children, and to develop a forum to solicit and engage with families, something that families themselves had also identified. Staff, the emergence themes that came from staff wanted greater input into decisions affecting people that supported. They wanted their opinions and input respected, and to improve internal communications, to provide alternative, safe, suitable, affordable housing. Again, a theme consistent with what came from families. They identified the need for specialized training and upskilling, and they also wanted more connection with partners. So that resulted in the identification of 4 priority pillars: tuning up the teamwork, working as one; adjusting to complex challenges or revamping our internal capacity and our internal processes; addressing external pain points, that responding with system-focused initiatives; and leading the way and telling our story, pursuing innovation, advocacy, and promotion. And from these 4 pillars, for our operating plan for 2021-22, we have identified 3 objectives, which we'll be sharing in due course. In closing, I would just like to extend thanks. My thanks to Mr. Rob Wood and 80/20 Info, to Kate for organising the multiple sessions and juggling all the balls that come with doing that, to the many supported individuals, families, ministry and agency representatives, frontline staff, supervisors and managers who gave of their time to provide input and feedback, to the senior leadership team for their support and assistance, and to the Board of Governors for their input and support throughout this exercise as we embark on a plan for changing times. Thank you.